mid-year makeup inventory. So I did this back in February. I counted up all the products in my makeup collection and I let you know my numbers. This isn't in any way, shape or form me bragging. This is me being responsible for my collection and basically to hold myself accountable for how much I own, how much I'm buying, how much I'm using. And yeah, when I do these lists, it's more to help myself and help me to pull back and hold back on my spending, because when I have a hobby, and makeup for me at the moment is a hobby, it's not been a lifelong passion or anything like that. Like some people, this is my current hobby in a sense. I can get a little obsessive about spending. Um, and I can allow my collection to grow out of hand really quickly. So by doing a makeup inventory, it's allowed me to pull back and basically bring me back to the real world. Because nobody needs this much makeup. So anyway, let's get into the numbers. I won't be showing you any products simply because there's far too much for me to show you. But not only will I be putting up my numbers for now in June when I'm doing the count, but I will also tell you the numbers that I had back in February. And then I will also tell you how much products I've used in this last sort of 6 months time period. So yes, hopefully you can then look at those numbers and see what I have now, what I had then, and what I've used up. So yeah. So let's start from the very beginning. So primers, I have 10 primers right now, and I had 12 primers back in February, and I have actually used up 5 primers. So I've definitely gone down 2 primers since February, but I have used up 5, so I've obviously got a few more. For foundations, I currently have 13 foundations. I previously had in February 14 foundations, and I've currently used up 4 foundations for this year. For concealers, I currently have 9, and I have 2 colour correcting creams. And back in February I had 7 concealers and the 2 colour correctors, and so far I've used up 4 concealers. Setting powders, I currently have 8. Back in February I had 9, and I have used up 2 setting powders. I keep looking down because my notes are down here. I don't have that great a memory. Okay, onto the face powders. Okay, so blushes. That includes cream blushes, that includes powder blushes. I have 46. Yeah, 46. Back in February, I had 42, and I thought that was a large number. And I've used up, no surprises, I've used up none. None at all. None. None at all. I have hit pan on one, so I'm really chuffed with that. So I'm going to focus on trying to use that up this year. I blame Glossybox because I think I've received at least 2 or 3 blushes from Glossybox in the last 6 months. So you may have noticed that I didn't post a Glossybox video this month, and that is simply because, you know what, I have cancelled my order because I'm just not needing any extra products right now. And in all honesty, I like my Manny and Lola subscription box more at the moment, and that's for my nail varnishes. So I've actually stopped my Glossybox. So yeah, my blushes have gone up by 4. And yeah, for bronzers I have 24 at the moment, and I had 24 at the beginning of the year, but I've used up 2. I've used up 2 bronzers, so I have purchased, that means I've purchased 2 bronzers since February, and I'm quite happy with that because a couple of my bronzers I know I'm not going to wear because they're very glittery or they're very shimmery, so I'm not sure if I want to keep them, and I might declutter a few of them. So I'm happy with that, but yeah, 24. For highlighters, I have currently 39 highlighters. I had 32 in February, and I've used up 3 highlighters since February. I am really chuffed with using up 3 highlighters, and how I've done that is I've been focusing a lot on my cream highlighters. So I find that I can go through a cream product far quicker than I can go through a powder product. One of those highlighters that I have used up was a powder highlight, but it was pretty much on its last legs. It was in a project pan and I used it all up. So I was really happy with that. And the other 2 highlighters that I've used up have been cream highlighters, and I've used them up simply by using it on my arms and shoulders and my chest here on nice sunny days to give my skin a little bit of glow, as well as using it on my face. I've been focusing a lot more on my cream products recently, including my cream blushes and my cream bronzers, just trying to simply get those out of my collection because I'm finding, as I said, I can use them up a lot quicker than I can use a powder blush or bronzer or highlighter. So that is my realization, the epiphany that I've had in the last 6 months. So I'm really chuffed with that, but still 39 highlighters is still an awful lot. That's pretty much because my husband bought me the Safe X highlighter palette, so that was 8 highlighters right there. So yeah. Eyeliners. I have 31 eyeliners. I don't know. I had 21 back in February, and I've not used up a single one. Not a single one. I am close. I have one in a current project pan now, so I'm working on that one. But yeah, 31 highlighters I have now. It's ridiculous. And I generally have black, brown, nude, blue and green. 5 colours. That's it. Those are the 5 colours I have, but somehow I have 31 of them. So that number's got to go down. For mascaras, I currently have 13. I had 11 back in February, and I've used up 2. I'm not so concerned about my mascaras because about half of the mascaras that I own are like deluxe sample size, so I'm not too concerned, and I know they last about 3 to 6 months each one, so I'm set for a good 2 or 3 years for mascaras anyway. For glitters and pigments, and I'm talking about like loose eyeshadows and glitters and things like that, I have 6, and I have 1 glitter glue. Back in February I had 5 and no glitter glue back then, and I've not used a single one. Glitters and pigments, they do last a long time, so I'm not too fussed. During the summer I might use a bit more of a glitter like on my eye looks because of the summer days and festival looks and things like that, even though I'm not going to a festival. But I think the majority of my glitters and things like that I might use like closer to Christmas and things, so I'm not too worried about that number. For cream eyeshadows and stick eyeshadows, I have 21, and back in February I had 17. So, and I have hit pan on one of the cream eyeshadows. So I've hit pan on it. That to me is an achievement. But yeah, 21 cream and stick eyeshadows. I need to get that number down really, because as I say, cream products, I need to start focusing in on them more. For lip liners, I have 13, and back in February I had 13, and I have currently used up none. So yeah, I still had the exact same lip liners as I had back in February, so that's okay. For lipsticks and lip crayons, I put those together. I currently have 58. Back in, yep, 58. Sorry, lost my train of thought then. Back in February, I only had 46. My husband came back from town one day and he was like, bought you these. So I had quite a few more lipsticks. And I've currently used up 3. So I'm really chuffed with that. One I did have to declutter though. So yeah, I have used up 3. For liquid lips, okay. I have 61 liquid lipsticks. However, I recently received at Debenhams Beauty event a sample sheet of Urban Decay Vice liquid lipsticks, and there was 24 samples on that sheet. I count samples as one. I don't differentiate between full size, deluxe sample size, or little single use sachet size. It is still one. That's how I keep it simple across the board. Counting all these numbers is difficult enough as it is, without having to count halves or quarters or anything like that. So a full size lipstick and a sample size lipstick, they're still one each. So that's how I count it. So yes, I have 61. However, I do feel a little bit happy at the thought that at least 24 of those are like samples, little foil samples of lipstick, which have maybe 3 uses in them each. So I'm quite happy with that. It's still a lot, because that still leaves me with about 40 liquid lipsticks, but full size. But yeah. Back in February, I only had 29, so you can see how that number has jumped. But as I say, 24 of the 61 I currently have are sample sizes. And I have used up 2 of the Vice liquid lipstick samples, so that is that. For lip glosses, I own currently 22. Never bought a lip gloss in my life. How the hell I own 22, I'll never know. Back in February, I had 17. I don't like lip gloss. Why have I got more? And I've currently used up 2. So I've used up 2, but I still seem to have more lip gloss. But I've never bought lip gloss in my life. Not intentionally. They've come in eBay surprise bags. I think that's how I've got a couple that my husband bought me. And a couple in like beauty box subscriptions and things like that. But I've never intentionally gone out and bought a lip gloss. It's never happened. So yeah. Lip balms, I currently have 10. I had 8 back in February, and I don't think oh no, I've used 3. I used 3 lip balms. That does include lip scrubs as well, so like the e.l.f. lip scrubs. So yeah. For brows, I have currently 16 products. Back in February, I had 15, and I've currently used up 1. So yep. And setting sprays, I have currently 3, and I previously had 2, and I've used up 3, so I no longer have the ones that I had back in February. Now for some big numbers. This is the one that scares the living crap out of me every time I do a count. Eyeshadows. Now, I count every single eyeshadow pan, whether it is in a single, a duo, a quad, or a 32 eyeshadow palette. I count every single eyeshadow as one. I currently have 652 eyeshadows. Yeah. And back in February, I only had 459 eyeshadows. So I've gone up a good 200 eyeshadows. And I have currently hit pan, and that's my goal, is to hit pan, not just to use up, but to hit pan. I've hit pan on 15 eyeshadows since February. So I'm happy with that number. But I'm not happy with the number of eyeshadows that I have. And I actually counted how many palettes I owned this year, this time, which I didn't do back in February. I didn't count the actual palettes that I had. And I'm talking of palettes that have 6 or more eyeshadows in them. And I have 40. I have 40 palettes with 6 or more eyeshadows in them. So yeah, that's that big number. That's scary as hell. And then finally, nail polishes. I currently have 199. I previously had 166, and I've managed to use up 2. And I think those were, one was a top coat, and no, I think they were both, no, one was nail hardener and one was top coat. So yeah, no, 3. I've used up 3. I just haven't put it down in my book. I've used up 3. So yeah, not great for nail polishers, but hey. So those were my numbers for June for my makeup inventory. I hope you enjoyed the video. I challenge you to count your makeup and see how big your collection is. Honestly, if you're thinking about going on a no-buy and you're not sure you can do it, count your makeup. It'll soon make you want to go on a no-buy. So yeah, there was a funky bike outside. So thank you very much for watching. If you liked it, please like, comment and subscribe. Press that bell button so you can be notified of when the next video goes up. And I will see you in that next one. Bye.